You all, we are not licensed professionals. You know, we are just here on this roller coaster called life, trying to be better friends to one another, trying to be better human beings on this planet. If you're tuning in, we are not opting out of therapy. We are not advocating that you listen to us and not see someone who is licensed and trained to help you with day-to-day life on how to cope and deal. So we advocate for therapy a lot here. We believe that everyone has something to talk to somebody about. So, just like to make that disclaimer that we're just here giving our opinions and having discussions week by week. And we're hoping that, you know, maybe you can find something useful, or if at least find a little humor in this terrible, terrible rock we call the world.
In other words, if you listen to our advice and you get popped in the mouth, don't at us.
Yeah, don't at me because you may get popped in the mouth again. All right, welcome back to another episode of the Friendship University, you know, the podcast where we, you know, every week try not to be trash in hopes that it will encourage you to not be trash. The world is already full of so much trash. They tell you to recycle every day. Why do you want to be a part of that trash when you could be so much better? Be in the recycle bin, not in the garbage bin. That's my take. So we're back for another week. I am back with our special guest. Before we get into that, you know, I'm still out of town. I'm still at Hell's HQ. I know it could get hotter. I felt it. Nevada, hotter. Arkansas, aka Arkansas, hotter. But for me, this is the equator. So I'm still yet in Texas, where they tell you go big or go home. And the sun is a very big proponent of that. You either go big or go in the house. And guess where I've been? In the house. I'm back with another week with our special guest. Don't worry, your favorite co-host, Miki, will be back shortly. I will be back home very, very soon, and we'll be bringing you the shenanigans that we bring you every week. Because as you know, every Friday you can anticipate episodes from us. It's Friendship Fridays. But I'm back with another week with our special fill-in guest, Tarrah the Coble. As you all have gotten acquainted with her, the beauty connoisseur, businesswoman extraordinaire, just all around great person who has given us some of our favorite tidbits over the last couple of weeks, like the shit up with a capital S and a capital U. It's been a pleasure sitting here with you these past weeks. This is going to be, I think, our final episode for now. You know, I'll be back in Texas, like I said, but I'm so thankful that you're taking the time out to sit down with me again and have another conversation for the podcast and for our listeners. How are you this week?
It has been my extreme pleasure and honor to be here with you guys. And just kiki and laugh and share and learn and grow. And it's just a really smorgasbord of wonderfulness that we've been able to encounter. And I'm just thankful that I've gotten to be a part. And I'm just honored because, you know, the podcast has been doing amazing and doing great things and helping people not be trash. Who is doing that? So just being a part. Super honored, super grateful.
I'm glad that you this is a busy woman. Let me just tell you, like, when people be like, oh, why you ain't hit me up? And they be like, I've been working. They probably lying. She not lying. She actually is not lying. Like, I have seen it with my own two eyes. I actually had to be like, girl, sit down. The Lord gives rest to his loving people. Peaceful rest.
You
to
know
his
what?
loving children.
And you know
So,
what? That is me slowed down. She got the slowed down version, and she was still like, "You need to chill." So
and this is coming from somebody who does. I work. So I had to teach myself how to not like work all the time. How rest can be a ministry
yes,
in itself. But I was like,
but
so
her
we had
being
24
here,
hours and you just not gonna stop? You gonna wake up and say, man, I worked for 18 hours yesterday. What do I need to get done today? You're not even gonna just stop and just take a rest and be like, man, I got a lot accomplished yesterday. No. What else is there on the job?
what's next? That is my brain. I'm working on it, guys. Honestly, I already know that my relationship with work is changing and transitioning. But honestly, she literally, her being here slowed me down, forced me to slow down
Yeah.
and like enjoy and take time and enjoy the moment. But her being here also helped me to work more efficiently, and just really
Work smarter, not harder.
smarter.
Smarter, not harder. But yeah, don't get it twisted. A diligent heart, yes, definitely will reap the promised land. But yeah.
You want to be able to enjoy the promised land when you get there. You don't want to crawl in and limp in
This is true.
and looking like what you've been through. You want to walk in.
Man, let me tell you something. I am thankful that I don't smell like the smoke in which the fires I have walked through.
Hello.
Because, baby, I would be out here looking like I don't even know Freddy Krueger. If y'all knew the fires that I have gone through to get to where I am today. So, how's your week been? We have done a lot. You don't have to give too much, but how's the last 7 days been for you?
Incredible.
We actually had 14 days since we've been on the podcast. How's this last 2 weeks been?
I would say immaculate.
Come on.
No, truly.
Literary.
I'm not. Listen.
She's an author, you all. So.
I am. My first ever book. It's an ebook, and it was written on bridal, the ultimate bridal guide. So for any brides out there who are getting
soon
married,
to be brides, want to be a bride, need to know a little bit about, want to be helpful to a bride. Maybe you're a maid of honor, matron of honor, need to just give some tips and tricks. All of that.
Yes, the glam process for brides can be it can be bewildering, honestly, like having to, contract different vendors. You're not sure who to trust, what are the red flags, how to choose the right people, how to get the look you want. And you're not a makeup wearer. You don't really know much about the bridal process, hair and makeup process. It can be a lot, and you're spending a lot of money on that day. You just want to make sure you look your best. So I wrote an ebook about it, and you can access it on our Instagram. And I just want to help my
GGH
clients.
Beauty?
Yes, GGH Beauty Global on Instagram, GGH Beauty on TikTok.
In the bio, you all can. Yes, if you hear the words, she is a woman after my own heart, because I also like words.
Yeah.
So tell us about your last couple of days.
The week has
few days, I should say.
Like I said, it's been great. I say it's been great because it was like the best of both worlds, honestly. I've gotten to accomplish things. Your host is a freaking genius. Y'all don't know that because she will never brag on herself. But that's why I'm here, ladies and gentlemen. No, she is so... I don't want to tell your business. Can I tell that you like... Can I tell...
Go ahead, tell the people if you want to share. We've worked on multiple projects, but I think I know what project you're about to talk about.
Okay, so she's also a photographer and videographer as well. One of the many things she does. And we took headshots of me. I needed some new headshots. I actually take headshots of other people too. That's one of the things we do. But like I needed some for myself. And she's just a genius. Her eye, immaculate. It's insane. And we're just both artists, but I think art can appreciate another artist. And that's why I'm just like, your brain, your little brain, I just want to kiss it. Because the way that she can see things, it's just, I can so appreciate how dynamic her ability and her lens is. And I'm like, wow, you're so talented. And then I just hosted from our company, we hired and brought on some new team members, and we had training. We videoed it and videoed me performing a glam look on a model, and we just worked. We did some awesome projects, but I'm not gonna cry. Ooh, Jesus is just trying to well up. The way she has supported me in my dreams is unlike anything I think I've ever experienced in my life. And I hope that I can show up for her in a way that is meaningful to her. Because the way she has supported me, oh God, I'm crying. I've never felt. And my dream one day is to just take her shopping and let her free for all, and just like do obnoxious things for her that she doesn't even want, but
Because I'll be like, I don't even want to go.
she don't care. She really doesn't care, but just be obnoxious because I just want to love her and show her how much she means to me. And yeah, so I'm super grateful. And if you have people in your life that truly support your dreams, and truly, when it looks like that'll never happen, but for whatever reason, they believe you and they support you in your efforts. Treasure them. So I think that was the highlight, just like us being together and sharing fun memories and doing fun things and laughing at everything because
Everything.
we laugh at everything.
Everything's a joke to me.
Everything's a joke.
Everything is literally a joke to me.
And say for me, I'm very unserious with probably the most unserious people you have ever met.
Which is so funny because I can be serious and I talk about such serious things. I will debate on the debate team captain here.
Yes.
But I am so unserious.
We are so unserious constantly. I'm like, how am I ever going to meet a man? Because like, we're never serious. Even
this guy man grow up. But he's not.
Like, I know. I'm like, oh my God. I'm so silly. We are so silly. We laugh at everything. So it's just been like so therapeutic and for somebody to like tell you about yourself. And you can ask them, they gonna tell you for real. So what do you
like? Some of the conversations they've been both ways, people. Don't get it twisted. We both have looked each other in the eye and said, look me in my pupil because I need you to hear what I'm saying to you.
And really tell you about yourself. You think you gliding on ice and you just bread of heaven. And somebody say, this is something that you might want to look into.
You actually are not the best thing since sliced bread. And here's why.
Bring humble thyself. But it's from a loving place. And so you can just take it. You can swallow it, cut your little pride and be like, you know what? They right. Because they going to tell me right. Mm-hmm. They want to see me
for your
succeed.
embarrassment, for sure.
Yeah, so it's been wonderful. I'm so grateful. A beautiful time. We had a time, like for real.
We had a time.
A time.
I'm so glad to hear. That makes me we're not gonna cry.
That's
not this podcast, people.
Too late.
I don't know what y'all thought y'all were coming into. We ain't gonna be two women crying on the podcast, so y'all can make a meme out of us. But I'm so thankful to hear that. It has been, as a creative, as someone who's always had an imaginative, creative mind, it's just very heartwarming and breathtaking to be around other creatives and get that experience, and not to say that I'm not around creatives a lot. A lot of my friends, a majority of my friends express themselves and create in a creative realm or creative minds. I think it's just company keeps similar company type of thing. So I definitely have friends who I'm looking forward to getting back with when I get back to Atlanta and sharing some of this creative energy with them because I know they have dreams and hopes. I'm just here to support. You tell me you have a dream I support strangers.
She not lying, y'all.
So, and when I say I support strangers, if I can do something to support within my realm to support a stranger whose vision or dream I believe in, I'm gonna do it. So I'm gonna do even the maximum of that for the people I care about who are in my life. So you tell me you got a vision or a dream or you want to do something, how can I be of assistance? What can I do? Where do we need to go? What do we need to do? What's your vision? How can I help this come to life? So it's been a pleasure really working, seeing you in your element. If you rewind back to the fact we have been friends for almost 20 years now. So we both have seen different versions of one another. And since I have known Tarrah, you have been a creative. You have been someone who has had an eye of vision, and there was a kind of a cocooning that happened where you blossomed into that and you really started to hone in on it. And that's something that has to happen for an individual, right? You can have a talent, you can have a real God-given gift, and nobody's going to be able to tell you that but yourself.
Yeah.
And so as much as I heard people telling you, like, you got this, you've got that, you had to come to that realization. And so being able to see it come to fruition and grow, I'm just thankful to still be around, to see it blossom and to see it grow and to see you in your element and to see you being like, man, this is who I am, and bump anybody who is like not with it. This is just who I am, and that's who I'm gonna be.
Yep.
And this is not to say for you all individuals who mean and out there and be like, that's just who I am. This is not the same thing. Don't put yourself in this category. But yes, as a creative, a lot of times we are battling within ourselves about what we're doing, where we're going, what do people think when Erykah Badu said, I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my ish. Like, it's a very real fact. And so when I am given the grace to be put into that bubble, I wouldn't dare bust it. I wouldn't dare be like, what are you thinking? Who do you think you are? No, who do you think you are? I am Wakanda forever. Like, for real. Like, we out here. I am just the towel on the top of the world. I'm the queen of Sheba, queen, whatever. I'm God's child. I can do whatever. So it's been a time. I've had a good time out here. We've eaten well. We've seen a lot of beautiful things, and it's been good. Texas has really done some wonderful things for me. So, yeah, these last couple of days or couple of weeks, whenever you're listening to this, few days, whatever, have been amazing. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful to have had the experience. Texas is becoming a tourist spot.
Oh my goodness!
I didn't know that was what was happening, because I've been to Texas. I've been to Fort Worth, Dallas at this point, Houston. There's a smaller part of Texas I've been to that I cannot remember the name of, but I didn't know that smaller than that. Like, but when I was looking at stuff to do, and you even said this too, like, they're really making this touristy.
Yes, very much so. They're continuing to build, and it's so many things to do, and even the businesses, they're very niche, but they're very successful. Everything from let's make bracelets to let's paint a cooler. Let's, the most random stuff.
It's so much. Like, we went to the drive-in here, and so when I think about a drive-in, I don't think about, like, I don't want to say this in a way that is negative, but you don't think about a luxurious experience when you go to the drive-in. Like, you're going to be in your vehicle, they're just going to have the screen, but it was literally, it just looked like somebody's backyard. It was like, we're going to set these screens up. The concession stand, I think, was like a shipping container or a trailer.
Yeah.
It was like not a building, but it was nice. It was in the middle of nowhere, but it was very nice. And I was just like, man, they're throwing things up everywhere.
Everywhere.
And then just a special shout out to, we did some work over at, is it the
Golden Black Candle Lounge.
Golden Black Candle Lounge, which is a Black-owned candle-making company. They also sell candles, fragrances, scents for your home, and so forth. Amazing experience. The owner is super sweet, super talented, funny, just very down to earth. Ebony, I believe is her name.
Yes.
And in a beautiful space in Dallas. Just great scenery, great vibes, just all around amazing experience. It's like you get off the elevator and you're just overcome with these magnificent scents.
Yes.
It literally, and we're not making this up. Like, you get off the elevator,
you can smell it from the elevator.
You can smell it as
can.
soon as you step off the elevator, and you just get to make these candles, and you could do your own particular labels, and you can do your own particular scents, and it was just really nice meeting her and seeing her business and getting an ability to partner with her. So shout out to that. If you are in the Dallas, Fort Worth, Arlington, whatever area,
go to Golden Black Candle Lounge. I think it's like 211 Urban Road in Dallas, and it's on the 15th floor. Amazing
experience. And then it's in a really like cool area. If you're into coffee, there's some dope coffee shops around there. I got some good coffee, some dope boutiques. I think, is it Nordstrom or what
Neiman
store
Marcus.
is that? Neiman Marcus headquarters or flagship store is down there as well.
Across the street.
Right across the street. So if you're into fashion or you just want to see, if you're familiar with what flagship stores are, they, are breeding grounds for having things before they hit any other market. They really keep up with their decor. It's really an experience to go in there and see what it's like. So, again, very cool area. If you're in the area, you can do all of that and more. So, check them out. Yeah. So, this week, we've been talking. We've been having some interesting conversations just about boundaries, about support, about being there. So we're thinking, keeping in that same multitude and in that same framework, we're going to talk about standards. And a lot of times we hear, like, what is your standard for a significant other, or, boyfriend, girlfriend, all that jazz. But I wanted to kind of talk about, what's your standard for a friend, or what is your standard in friendship? Like, so, I guess I'll pose a question first of, what do you feel a standard is?
Great question. Let's Google it.
Yeah, I have the definition here.
Okay, can we read the definition first?
Yeah, so there are a couple of definitions for a standard. It can be used as a noun. It can be a level of quality or attainment. It could be an idea or thing used as a measure, i.e. the norm, or a model in comparative evaluations. It could also be, I thought this was interesting, it could be used as an adjective, as of a tree or shrub growing on an erect stem of full height. So essentially what I came to the conclusion of as a standard would be something set up or established by an authority as a rule for the measurement of quantity, weight, extent, value, or quality.
Okay. So in regards to friendship, I just feel like it's our ideas, or our desires that we have for those in whom we surround ourselves with.
Right.
And I heard a quote, I've heard this many times, that you become like the 5 people you talk to the most or spend the most time with.
I've heard that too.
And I truly believe that and then there's a Bible verse that talks about that it says evil communication corrupts good manners, which
Yeah.
means that who you spend time with, if they're not good, it's gonna,
Yeah.
even if you're good, it's gonna eventually corrupt you.
Right.
You're not gonna, they're not going to be more like you. You're going to become more like them if you surround yourself with people like that. And so, for me, standards would be those things or those requirements that I have for the people that I surround myself with.
Yeah, there's a quote. As you were saying that, I was trying to find who it was from, but I can't remember. There's a quote that talks about it, pretty much says, high standards protect you from low experiences.
That's powerful.
And
So good.
so when you know what you want, who you are, what you have to offer, and then what you're looking for someone else to offer you, it can save you from putting yourself in situations
Yes.
where you are experiencing something lesser than what you
Yes.
want or are used to. Um, so when we think about the definitions that I just gave in the standard, um, just throwing out some adjectives and we can talk a little bit more in depth about them. But what are some adjectives as far as standards are concerned for your friends, the people you consider friends in your life? And we can even define a friend if you want.
I would say for my friends personally.
Yeah, this is your personal because I'm going to talk about what I.
Okay, so for me, I
And
think there's
excuse
a
the coughing,
difference.
sorry, because something's trying to get me. But
I would say number one that you are loving. Okay, and when I say loving, you are kind, you are compassionate, you are you are like patient, you are understanding, and then I would say two, I would say you have to be some sort of visionary. You have to have a vision for your life.
yeah,
You know, you have to be working towards something, working on something, because if you're not, we're just not going to align, because that's who I am. I'm always working toward vision. And you have to care about people. It's hard for me to be around people don't care about other people. Like,
yeah,
that's obscene to me. For me, and some people that doesn't bother, but like how you treat people is very important to me. Like if we're at the restaurant and you cussing a waitress out, or you're
man.
being rude, or you're being disrespectful to people, or not saying thank you, or not being gracious, like, oh my god, you want to irk me or ick me, that does not work for me, and I won't be around you.
Yeah.
And also supportive, like I want to support you, I'm looking for you to support me. That's important to me because I feel like relationships should be mutually beneficial.
Yeah.
You know, I know that relationships go through seasons where one might need more support than the other, but we should go back and forth.
Yeah.
It should be a flow. And I think the last one is well, the last two, I think for me, having a relationship, like my closest friend, they have to have a relationship with God, because that's a huge part of my life.
Yeah.
Huge, huge, huge. He is my life. So if you don't have a relationship, it's hard for you to understand me.
Yeah.
Like I can't have deep conversation. I can skim the surface and we could talk about things in general, but you're gonna ask me, well, why you do this? And I'm be like, well, God told me to.
Yeah.
You're gonna be like, what?
Well.
So that's for sure. And then for me personally, I've had honesty,
Yeah.
like honesty and vulnerability. Like if I can't be honest with you and you can't be honest with me, what are we doing? Like
Yeah.
we're not really friends. Friends have each other's secrets and they lock it down and they don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
And we're the keeper of each other's, hidden things. Someone you can share things with and they'll protect it.
Yeah.
So For me, if you're dishonest, or I know this is my last thing. I don't like gossip. I don't like gossipers. Like, I don't want to tell you something and then somebody I didn't tell come ask me or come tell me something I told you.
Man, let me tell you
Like, how would
something.
they know that?
Okay.
Unless you told them. So you mean to tell me I'm telling you something personal and you going to a random, like somebody
Yeah.
else, and you're telling them my business? Tell them your own business. Don't tell them my
Absolutely.
business.
And I think it's telling too when people are no longer friends and they start to gossip about the people they were
Yeah,
friends with. Because
no.
I don't have to badmouth or tell your secrets just because we are no
No.
longer cool.
No.
That for me is like, man, I
I
made the
don't
right choice.
I don't care what happened. I'm not finna tell your business. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Now I might discuss what we went through,
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna tell none of your secrets that you told me.
Absolutely
I'm not,
not.
oh, she did
What are
this
you
or
gaining
she
from that? In my mind, I'm like, what are you trying to do?
just ugly. It's just ugly to
Yeah.
me. So for me, I don't do gossips. Like, if I
Anything
tell
I
you
have saw,
something,
anything I have said about someone, and not even if I felt like it was gossip, but about a friend to another friend, I've said to that friend.
to that friend, they already know that. So
Yep.
don't go telling my business. Keep that to yourself. So yeah, that's a big thing for me in honesty.
Yeah, I think I think it was good that you outlined those because two things I want to call out. You said the not gossiping and then also honesty. I think we have to understand. You said that, and you also said vulnerability. So there was the not gossiping, the honesty, and the vulnerability. And all three of those are correlated, but they also have very different definitions. So, like trust being confidentiality. I know I can come to you with whatever I'm saying and trust that it won't fall onto the ears that it's not supposed to, or
Right. Or be
leave
in the
the
street.
realm that it's supposed to be in, or even down to again talking about artists, I can trust that if I share what I'm working on
Yes.
or
That's so
pursuing
good.
or doing won't leave this realm
Yes.
unless it's going to the ears of somebody you feel like can help me, and you or
Yes.
not even feel like you know can help me.
Yes.
It's not leaving that. And then
Yes.
honesty being not lying, you know what I'm saying,
Yes.
like
Telling me the truth.
telling me the truth about.
You ain't gotta lie,
You
Craig.
ain't got to lie.
You ain't got to lie.
To kick it. Like,
You just
you ain't got
don't.
to lie, Chris.
If you
ain't
lied
got
to
lie.
me, we even friends?
Let me tell you what I learned at a very, very, very young age. And my mom taught me this. They said, my mom, and I have stuck this with me. It wasn't these exact words, but it really came down to never feel like you're the exception. So
good.
if somebody will lie in front of your face to
In
somebody
front of
else,
your face.
they will lie to you. I
Lie
have
to
seen
you.
people lie to their parents before, and I'm like, I'd be a fool to think if you lying to your parents,
You ain't lying
that
to
you
me.
would never lie to me.
Yeah. Or you gossiping about another friend.
Exactly.
You definitely gossiping
You're definitely
about me.
talking about me.
Absolutely.
So, that and then vulnerability, I think, is a child of trust and honesty. It comes from me being able to be vulnerable, me being able to be confidential with you, me being able to be honest with you, give you information that other people do not know, because people mistake confidentiality. Like, I don't know if our listeners out there have signed confidentiality agreements or not, but they are very serious. Like, when someone has something that they feel like is a true idea or a vision or something, and they have you sign that, they don't want it out in the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Because people take, they bite, they replicate, they do all kinds of stuff. So I need confidentiality for sure.
Yeah.
Which, again, honesty, and then that builds the vulnerability. I can trust you. So the more that is exuded, the more vulnerable I can be. I feel like in a friendship for sure.
Can we talk, like, stay on vulnerability for a minute? Like, what stops us from being vulnerable? Like, I just know, like, even this time that you were here, I was able to just be vulnerable. Like, this is where I'm at with this, and this is where I'm at with this. Why? Because you have to be able to show up in your as yourself where you are and trust that that person is going to accept you.
Yeah.
And so some things that might keep us from being vulnerable is fear of rejection,
Yeah.
that that person won't accept us because we're not perfect or not this idea that they thought in their head.
Yeah.
No, I'm a real person. I'm good at this, but I might not be good over here.
I'm not a Barbie. Shout out to the Barbie premiere.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
that looked phenomenal.
I'm good over here, but I'm not the most this over here.
Yeah.
And you got to see that. Can you still love me? Can you still accept me? But I want to be able to be vulnerable. I'm not. So, and then also like putting your ego aside to say, I'm not good at everything. This is an area that I'm still working on,
Yeah.
and
And here's an
be able to
area
do
that
that.
I may not ever be the best at.
Ever.
But I'm gonna do what
My
I can.
best.
I'm gonna do my best to do the best that I can. But I may not ever get to any kind of great status.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that is so true. And I think I did way back in the day. I've always been a people person, I guess you could say. People have been drawn to me. I have an atmosphere that brings in a welcome heart, for sure. But the people who know me and are close to me have that jurisdiction to know that they're close and know me. I'm an open book, but the people who know that they're in my circle know they're in my circle for sure. And I had to study vulnerability because there was a time where, because of what I do and who I am and what I want to do and help in helping the world, I would be unnecessarily vulnerable. And it's not to say that any kind of vulnerability is unnecessary. It's just that you have to know that vulnerability at its core means opening yourself up for attack. You're revealing weakness to say that this is where there's an area that I could be attacked in.
Yes.
So I had to realize, like, there's actually some people out there that will use that. Will definitely use that.
Put that in their back pocket.
And be like, oh,
baby,
okay, so
and
that
whip
side,
it out.
that side breast calf, that's open. And as a gamer, I learned that even more, because especially when you're playing like your fighting games and all that, and you're looking and you're like, man, this person's not on their left, bop 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 bop, like you're just like, got you, like that vulnerability, or even like racing, all that, like Nintendo down, Mario Kart, I know what I do, racing. Oh, you're on the edge right there. That's a vulnerable spot. Bop, just popped you right off the rainbow. Now I'm in first place. But yes, so I just looked up the term vulnerable, because that really, I'm glad that you called that out. So vulnerable means susceptible to physical or emotional attack or harm. It can also mean of a person in need of special care, support, or protection because of age, disability, or risk of abuse or neglect. So I'm thinking, like, maybe vulnerability is one of the biggest keys or things that is necessary in a friendship. We talk about being vulnerable with our partners, like I said earlier, a lot. And it probably stems because y'all actually have a friendship at the core. But yeah, if vulnerability is the biggest pillar, and that can only come from trust and honesty, it's like you gotta do those things to get here.
Yeah. You have to be trustworthy.
Yeah.
Worthy. People just want trust, like,
for no reason.
You have not earned this, what you're asking from me. People just want to be trusted. And it depends on the person.
Yeah.
Some people just freely give trust. I had a friend do something very trusting of me, and I was like, wow, thank you for trusting me. But at the end of the day, trust is earned. And once that trust is built, like I've seen you treat me right over time, or us, I'll give you a little bit, see what you do with that. I'll give you a little bit more, see what you do with that. Then I start to be more vulnerable. I start to let my guard down, and to literally the term letting of a guard down,
It's becoming vulnerable.
yeah, and giving you access for attack because my guard is no longer there. Not fully there. So I'm allowing you into a sacred spaces.
Yeah.
And when people allow you into sacred spaces, that is priceless. Like, and can be closed at any given moment. They don't owe you their sacred space.
Absolutely
You
not.
know, and in a friendship, those are areas that you should handle with care. And
Nobody
so
owes you that in any relationship.
they
Not
really
your
don't.
family, not your significant other. Um, these are spaces that you should count it all a privilege
Yes.
to be in.
Yes.
Honestly.
Yes, and to handle people with care. So, to allow people the opportunity to attack you, to hurt you, and but they can also help you.
Yeah,
Man,
that's
that's
the
the
flip
flip
side of vulnerability. But
side.
if you've exhibited, I have not often seen someone exhibit both trust and honesty and make me regret being vulnerable with them. There has been but one time I can recount, maybe twice, and even when I look back on the totality of that relationship, somewhere they were either not trustworthy and I just ignored it, or they were not honest and I just ignored it. And it turned into, man, I was vulnerable. You used that like against me.
Yeah, yeah. Like, just don't pull that stuff out of your back pocket, like, and some stuff we joke about, but some stuff don't even joke about it. Like, why we always got to cut people down to have a joke?
Yeah.
Like, can it be a uplifting joke? I don't know. But, you never know what people are dealing with within themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They could be on the edge and now you think it's funny, but they were on the edge. And I'm not, you know, trying to say you can't have a good time, but know your people. If your people are sensitive in the word arena, like words or affirmation or something, I'm not going to cut you down.
And at what and whose expense are you having a good time?
Right.
Like at the center of it, like, does this person always have to be the butt of the joke?
Yeah.
What's behind that?
What's behind that?
I pay attention to things like that.
Oh, I catch every word. I might not say anything, but I catch it. I always catch it.
Yeah, if I feel like I don't have anybody in my camp like that, thank the Lord. I definitely have people that I know I can trust and be vulnerable with. And, in all honesty, like, I have a lot of people from different walks of life in my camp. Yes, for me, a big proponent is like, okay, you're honest, you're trustworthy, I can be vulnerable and weak. In the times we share the same similar values,
very good.
all
Similar
of that, and those may look different when it comes down to actual verbiage, but the characteristics of this person, because I look at people's character, and the characteristics that you exhibit still fall into those playgrounds, and they still fall into those categories where I'm like, all right, you're XYZ, you're this, I can trust you that, because I'm not about. First of all, I'm at an age now where
age and a stage.
Okay, age and a stage now where I do not have to. I'm already fighting myself.
I'm fighting for my life.
I'm fighting for my life. What do y'all want? Tyrese, all of them just
R. Kelly.
crying. Just, what more do you want from me? Yes, I'm really literally like fighting for my purpose and my life.
Baby,
to
that lives rent free in my head. Like,
for real, I am fighting for my life. Like, I can't be letting someone in who ain't gonna uplift or support or tell me the truth in love and in kindness, because we have had conversations about this multiple times on this podcast, and I will reiterate, honesty does not mean mean.
Yes.
Honesty can be kind, and you
Yes.
can be truthful
Yes.
and graceful in love. It doesn't necessarily mean
Yep.
that you have to be angry or mean or whatever y'all think that honesty means. So,
Also, can I add
yeah,
something
go
to
ahead.
that? Why do we sometimes treat the people closest to us the worst? Like
It's like punching bag. It's like
what?
you're a punching bag.
Yes, you let
Yeah.
hell rip on these people because
And then people who don't know you, they be like, "Oh, that's a sweet angel." They be like, "No, they're not. Actually, they're very mean."
yes, just because somebody is close to you, whether that's family or friends, like your best friends,
Yeah.
you don't just rip on them because y'all have a relationship.
You don't
Like
get to unload the world
yes,
onto them every single time that you see or talk to them. You don't get to
yes.
do that.
Just say anything and be, let your mouth fly because they're close to you.
Yeah.
Like, let's stop doing that because that's when you can shut up with a capital S and capital U. Because they are close to you because they love you and
Yeah.
they should get the best of you, not the worst of you.
Man,
Like
that's good.
they really
They should get
should.
the best of you and not the worst of you, for sure.
Because they've been down with you. They're
Yeah.
like, are down for you and down with you. And so, if anything, you should be showing up in a way that is safe, you know,
Yeah.
for those who are closest to you, and not just anything we start taking for granted. It's not gonna be good. Your friends don't have to be your friends.
No.
They don't. They choose to be your friends. It's not like family. Family, it's like y'all born into the same family
And
by
even after a
blood.
certain age, family members can be like, "I don't have to fool with y'all no
Yeah,
more."
I don't have to fool with you. You know what I'm saying? But when you're growing up in the same house, y'all kind of got to fool with each other.
Right.
But as a friendship, all of that is by choice
Yeah.
and by design, like by desire.
We take people for granted.
Yes, anything you start taking for granted or start, just, not appreciating, it's
Yeah.
going to depreciate.
Mm.
So,
Come on, alliteration.
no, seriously, anything we start. So, let's be those friends that you're like, oh, she always gonna be there. No, no, she may not. She may wake up on one day and be like, I don't like that you never pay me back and you borrow a lot of money and you never give it back. I don't like that you curse me out when you're mad. I don't like that you know what I'm saying? Tell my secrets. Like, people don't have to take that.
And they don't have to keep forgiving you. And you know what I have actually learned in those situations, either it be myself or seeing it from other people's perspectives or as an outsider looking in, there are two things happening. It could be what you're talking about, where people just start taking things for granted and they feel like someone's always going to be there, or that person no longer values the same way they used to value you, and they're showing you they no longer value you.
Period.
The way that they used to value you, and the way that they start acting towards
And
you.
treating you.
And treating you, because
Yes.
it can change.
It can.
So, and I have seen this in situations where someone, for instance, if you have a friend, if you start doing better than that person, they are like aggravated, or they're saying different things, or
taking jabs.
Taking
You're like, where did that come from? Why are you mad?
That person didn't value you the same way to begin with. They were just happy to have somebody on the same playing field.
Yeah.
But now that you're doing better, it's making them feel inadequate, and they're starting to exhibit that inadequacy in verbal abuse or XYZ. So, or it could even be a situation where someone can come up in life and you're still at a certain level, and they start to devalue you because you haven't come up.
Oh, that's so sad.
And
What a
which is
loss.
very sad.
Because that's your real friend that loved you when you didn't have nothing.
And people often learn like what that means as they get older and they start to have fake people around them. But I have seen it.
Wow.
And it is very sad. It's a very sad situation, because it's like, man, you left the one who has held you down
Yeah.
because the applause here
Wow.
was louder because
Wow.
it was more people
Yeah.
and they had more to offer you
Yeah.
seemingly in that moment, and now you're just looking back like, man, I should have never did that. So
But as we mature, you understand what's really sacred in life.
man, more
You know
precious than
what? Oh
gold,
yeah, what's
rubies.
really valuable, and a true friend that accepts you and love you, support you for
Yeah.
real, priceless.
Yeah.
And if you get on and you forget all that, you're foolish.
Yeah.
Because that's irreplaceable. You know, it's truly irreplaceable. And like, let's say your friend acted funny. Tell your friend.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Have that conversation. Like, girl, I feel like this. Don't just lose a friend. Just
Don't let outside influences
Yeah.
tell you how to handle someone who you
Yes.
know you know.
Yes.
If you know that you know someone,
Yeah.
talk to them. And
Yeah.
if they're changing or acting a different way outside of the way that they were acting towards you, let's say you've known somebody for 5-6 years. And in 5-6 years, they've been consistent. They've been showing you XYZ. And then maybe for 6 months, they seem different. You don't know what that person's going through. Talk to
Yes.
them.
Talk to them.
Ask them what's going on. Why are you acting this way? I'm
Yeah.
seeing this change. You've been consistent here. What's happening? Because it's not the higher and older you go in life, the harder it is to make friends.
Yes.
People, because, and I'm going to tell you, it's not hard to make friends in the sense of it's not hard to meet people. You are less inclined to trust and be vulnerable the more you have to lose.
Yeah.
So if I am like, that's why I do not subscribe to the whole no new friends mentality.
I don't either.
I don't, no new friends, no new friends. No, that's silly.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, community and people are what drive us, what push us forward. Businesses are successful because of people.
Yes.
If there weren't patrons for a business, there would be no business.
Mm-hmm.
So you need people to drive you forward, and you need that those lenses, because our friends are almost like telescopes, and they're like these aerial view. They're not even aerial. There are these spatial views of us. Actually, no, aerial. They are the aerial views of us where we only just see spatial. Like we could just look 360 around what's going on, and they can really zoom out and be like, no, actually, like I saw the situation, and this was that. I mean, we've been watching Love Island,
baby,
and look at what's happening on there with those friends, and we're like, there is a pack leader on there, and he just be making a fool out of these men, just telling them what to do, and people on the outside are like, you all do not understand that y'all look foolish letting this grown man tell you as what's supposed to be a grown man do what you don't want to do. Dude literally said, I don't want to kiss her. He was like, you should do it because you'll never had this time before, and then kissed her and immediately regretted it.
Yeah, that's
like
wild.
It's crazy.
That just shows you the influence a friend can have.
Yeah,
like,
who you consider a friend is very important.
Yes,
yeah.
And the trust that you have, and the and just how, like, the one guy on there, he acts a certain way to impress his friend.
Yeah.
And so imagine if the friend was about being honest. If that was a characteristic that he would be honest.
Yeah.
So
our friends are a reflection of us. And I'm gonna tell you this.
Man,
I'm gonna
so
tell
true.
you this. If you are dating or about to be married or about to be in a serious relationship with somebody, you better look at their friends. And
that's
I want to tell you right now, if them friends is doing something that you don't approve of, don't you dare think that your significant other is the exception
different
to the rule.
They're not.
He is not. She is not.
They're
if the
not.
friend is cheating, let me tell you something. They can influence them to cheat. Now, that person may not be a cheater, but they're keeping the cheater around in the camp. And it can rub off. Let me just tell you, like fat grease, it just pops up when you cook it right onto your face. So you need to pay attention to the people that they keep in their camp.
Birds that of a feather They
Flock
flocking in
together.
They flocking together.
Okay.
That is a very that. Say it again for the
I'm just
people in the
trying to
back.
tell you,
For the people in the
ain't
back.
that many times I've seen somebody different. And again, this is coming from somebody who my flock is a variation of birds. Okay, we ain't all pigeons or flamingos or like peacocks. We all different. But let me tell you something. At the core of who we are, as people, we the same. So
They have something in common.
they got something in common. And it's telling to me when someone in a friend group sees a friend doing wrong and don't say nothing about it.
Don't say nothing.
That for me.
Let's talk about it.
I'm going to tell you just right here. I'm going to give you an example. We here now. I had a friend who was dating married men.
Ooh.
And they did it once. And I was like, yo.
That ain't right.
It's not right. And it's not right. And they knew. Mm-hmm. We had the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
They was like, yeah, I know it's not right. And, I'm going to cut it off. And it's not worth it. Mm-hmm. And then they did it again.
We got a pattern here.
Said, there's a pattern.
We got a pattern.
Because there are instances, there are mishaps, there are happenstances, and then there are patterns.
Yep.
So I said, okay, you dating a married man again. Now, what Nene say? Stop sleeping with married men. So I said, okay, it's not okay. It was grieving me. Mm-hmm. As I'm not married, I was not married at this time. I don't even think I was in a serious relationship at this time. It was just like, don't do that. That is so like, I don't even want to get into the treachery that is that you do. It was making me not only sad but scared for that person. I was like, don't do that. Just stop. So that married man ended up cutting it off with them. They did it again. I was like, I can't be your friend no more.
Wow.
Like that, they were like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? Yeah, I did it a couple of times, but this time they're like about to be divorced. I said, are they divorced? Have they been served divorce papers? Has anybody signed? Where's the person living? Are they still living with the wife? Ooh. What's happening? Okay, when they call you, do they call you from another phone? Do they call you from this phone? Do they tell you not to call the house? Do they pay in cash and not with the credit card? Does the credit card have another name on it? They are very much still married. What they're doing is still trying to hide what it's doing. I was like, I cannot be associated with someone who is willing to portray a covenant of that magnitude. Because if you are willing to look past a man and woman who have dedicated their lives to one another, when I make it, I'm just your friend. I'm not sleeping with you. I ain't giving you no kind of physical pleasure whatsoever when it comes to sexual nature. What are you willing to do to me if the tables are turned?
Don't bring your man
Your
around.
character is just in question now because you are willing to negate what you know is right for what you want. Yeah. And that is dangerous to me. You're very scary to me. It's very scary.
That's what he be saying.
Yes, you scare me.
That's what he says on Love Island. So it's like an inside joke.
For real.
100%. Yeah, 100%. What? Okay, so do you say something to your friend? Let's go here.
Yep, let's do it.
Keke Palmer.
Woo!
Let's go here.
Going now?
Let's just do it. Let's just do it. Let's imagine. Okay, so Keke Palmer wears a dress. She is in a relationship. It's supposed to be healthy, very happy.
Very happy.
Had a baby. She's not married, but she's very much in a committed relationship.
Yep.
She's in Vegas with her friends, and she wears a dress that is a thong in the back. Now that's your business. Here's the thing. That's your business. But her complete back butt is out completely.
With that, when you say that thong in the back,
It's a thong in the back.
yeah, because
it's sheer. Okay, the dress is sheer.
your boots, you be like
Your butt
booty
cheeks. Your booty cheeks are out. They're complete. The cheeks are out. Okay.
Okay, sitting up high, looking good. Right. Yep.
She looks beautiful. The boobs and the cheeks are out.
Yep.
Like it's like both, you know. And it's tight. So it's just like she's very much here.
Yeah.
If you felt like she was doing too much, just let's say if you her friend, y'all finna go out. I saw the other friends' outfits.
Nothing. I think one girl had jeans on.
Nothing like that.
Which is none of my business. Because
none of my business.
Let's be honest. Sometimes when we have friend groups, we go out.
Yeah.
I'm a little different dress. You're a little different dress.
But usually it be the same arena.
It's in the same arena, yeah.
Because
ain't
nobody
wearing a thong bikini.
Right.
If somebody else got on XYZ. But go on.
Right. So I'm just saying, like, because, y'all in the hotel and you're like, girl, what you finna wear? Oh, okay, I'm going to wear this. It's kind of in the same vibe. Yep. Right. Yep. But, like, they had, like, 2 piece flowy outfits and one had a dress. Like, they were, like, very normal.
Yeah.
But Kiki, had on the black thong dress.
Uh-huh.
So would you, and I'm not stating my opinion on her outfit. That's really not my business. What I'm saying, I wouldn't wear, but that's your business. I'm just saying, if you're her friend and you feel like, friend, I feel like your baby boop, he wouldn't. Like I think that might be too much for him. You already gone.
There are dependencies for me.
There. Okay. Here, you already gone. He at home with the baby. You already on a girls trip. We already finna be out seeing Usher.
If I knew there was a little turmoil,
that might
exhibit it. Like, we in a hotel suite in Vegas. I done heard you on the speakerphone.
Right.
He seemed a little agitated already.
Right.
Maybe. But like I said, there are dependencies. If you
would you have said something?
If that's your thing, it's dependencies.
Okay.
If that's your thing, and I seen you do that before. If it were me and Cardi B, no, I'm not gonna say nothing.
No, because that's y'all relationship. Norm, right? But if you felt
dress like that, sometimes already, even still, I'd be like, okay, yes. I'm gonna say this. Okay. If that person walked out and I thought everything was good, if I was Keke Palmer's friend and we was in a hotel suite. And she walked out in that. And I was like, and I just knew in my heart of hearts everything was good. Like, you left on a good note.
Okay.
You ain't said nothing about such and such acting up. You ain't, they ain't been blowing up your phone, nothing. I'd be like, yes, you look good. Now, I wouldn't do it, but you look good. Absolutely. Come on, baby mama. Like, body. You give it body. Now, if I was in said same suite and I heard you on speakerphone with your man.
This a revenge outfit.
And you talking about XYZ and they like, I'm at home with the baby. And the baby in my arm right now, and the baby crying. Where? And then you come out the bathroom and you like, man, such tripping. And like, yeah. And I'm just like, yeah, and then like, yeah, I'm in Vegas, and let's just go see Usher. And then I say your booty cheeks out. I may say, sis, I feel like you look body
amazing.
You look great. That's not in question. But you just came out the restroom and y'all was arguing, and it just kind of seems like you're a celebrity, right? So when we go out to this Usher concert, you're gonna be filmed and you're gonna be photographed, and do you have a full one piece that you could potentially put on? Just not the booty cheeks covered.
Booty cheeks. That's not the booty cheeks.
Let's keep the sheer. Keep the sheer.
Keep the sheer.
You got a full one piece you can put on, maybe? Because I just want us to all get on this plane and go home to a cohesive household.
Yes, honey.
So I would say that I'd be like, yes, your body is given.
Very
And you should be
much.
very proud of the birth that you've given to a whole
Very
human being,
much.
and
100%.
being happy with the body you have now. Because a lot of women can't say that. A
Yes.
lot of women, I would dare to say, I am not a mom, but I would dare to say a majority of women after they give birth do not feel that confident in their body as
Yes.
you feel.
Yes. Yes.
Right. And it's funny that you brought that up because I just had this conversation with another friend who is a mom. And I'm going to bring up the point that I talked to them about later. But I would say, do you just have a one piece? Because I feel like that would just cause, just so we can get on the plane, everybody be cohesive. Because let me tell you, you have been out here living your best life. And this is what I talked to my friend about, who just gave birth, not just gave birth, but gave birth a little while ago. And it's like, I was like, if you think about how much we've seen Keke Palmer out, and we've seen her be able to like embrace this motherhood, embrace this body, embrace this new attitude about who she is as a mother, as a fuller figured woman, never have felt that before. I feel like, and this is also based on the fact that we've seen photos and video of him in the background, that you have a good partnership. There is someone supporting you on the back end that is like, yes, I love it. I'm here. I'm going to hold the baby while you do this interview. I'm going to do this. I am in support of you, whatever I can do. And I personally feel like there are some things that are invaluable. And we have to realize that as a society, oftentimes we're too willing to throw things away because we want to prove a point.
Yes, we just
And
throw people away.
That point ain't gonna be what that person is at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And so, and I feel like a lot of us have heard this from older people. We've heard it on movies. I am almost 100% sure Tyler Perry has put this in a film before. It's better to not go to bed angry.
Yeah.
Like, let's just get it out. Let's talk about it. And maybe I have to sacrifice something in the moment.
In the moment.
For the future.
Yes.
We do that in everyday life to begin with. We sacrifice time to have 9 to 5s so that we can take that vacation to Bali or be on the gram in Mexico, wherever we go. We sacrifice the time as artists to create art.
Yes.
We do those things because we care about it. And too often we are willing to not sacrifice being right or having an emotion in the moment for a person.
Yes.
And I personally feel like partnership, especially when you are raising a child, is so important. And it changes the dynamic and the relationship you have with that experience. And so for me, if I felt like I could do something to be a friend and to also assist with aiding you to make a choice for the embetterment of your future as far as your partner's concerned, I would do that.
Yes.
I would try to influence that. Now, if you're like, no, I'm going to wear this, blah, blah, blah.
That's your business.
That's your business. I have said my piece.
Baby. I'm going to say it one time.
One time. I ain't going to force you.
I ain't going to say it after that. You don't have to ever listen to me. I'm just going to say it one time. After that, I'm done.
And I'm going to preface it by saying this is coming from someone who ain't in a relationship with a baby. Now, I may be in a relationship, but I ain't got no baby.
I'm going to say, you don't have to listen to me, but...
So, you don't have to listen to me or what I got, a doggone tooth of what I got to say, because I ain't just give birth to nobody.
But may I offer you this?
May I just
may I share,
in
may
my
I share
humble
something
opinion,
with you?
I feel like your better choice
might be...
Let's just put the butt cheeks up.
Just just a
little. And again,
who knows?
This is not on nobody's side because let me tell you something. He should never went to the
internet.
He should have never.
I'm so glad you said that.
Taken it to the internet.
Never, ever, ever,
that was
ever,
an in-house
ever,
conversation.
Ever.
Boop, your insecurities showing, girl. Tuck it up.
Yes. Now, here's the thing. Let's talk about the friends on his side. Like, Do you have friends that's telling you, bruh, take that down?
Yeah. Or did you have friends that was like, girl, we saw your boy, we saw your butt cheeks out? Because I'm we can go on a tangent right now because this Kiki Palmer thing has really been, whoo, baby. That meme on Twitter where it be like me watching other people get flamed for ideas I agree with, but I ain't say nothing. It's real because this is a very regular person.
Regular.
I'm talking about a fitness trainer. Go down to the LA Fitness. Boop, you want to sign up for my class? $25 a month. Like, and let me not say that was me. I don't know how much you charge, brother. You probably are top of the line. Your body does look like it's in shape. I don't know. But
he's not a celebrity.
You're not a celebrity.
Right.
And all these people chiming in about, well, Offset doesn't do this. LeBron James is, which Savannah would never. Gabrielle Union never does this.
Savannah would never
all these
wear
people,
butt cheeks out.
all these people who are still Sierra, Russell Wilson. These people are married to multi-millionaire celebrities. These people are in the same world. Okay? It's different. It is different. And I would venture to say, honestly, I do honestly feel like he may have underestimated how big Keke Palmer was.
Yeah.
I do think he did not know how much she was loved.
Yeah.
He did not know how much she was celebrated. He didn't know how big of a celebrity she was, because let's just be honest. Her name has not been in the media this much since Akilah and the Bee.
Yeah, that's wild.
Let's be very transparent. Yeah. And I'm so thankful to see it. If you go on my page, I've been reposting Baby Got Body, putting that girl is poison to the background for the last several weeks. I feel like I ain't never seen somebody celebrate they post baby body the way Keke Palmer has been celebrating her post. And I love it. It gives me hope that when I have a child, I can celebrate like that. We did see a little bit of Rihanna after that, but we saw Rihanna during pregnancy, not post. Mm-hmm. We seeing Keke Palmer like, okay, baby, this baby gave me body and I'm out here, baby. And I love it, but I think you have to understand from a regular point of view, if the people on Twitter, the regular people were on Twitter and you was with a man, you just regular, you ain't a celebrity, and you was at home with a baby and your man was getting grinded on Twitter, it was just caught, you would not be so chill. Let's just be for real. A 6-month-old baby in your arm, can't walk, talk, you at home, you ain't got a leg to stand on, in the sense of you're not the breadwinner. Mm-hmm. You don't want to seem insecure, but it's like, man, what do I do? I think the Twitter was a rant. I think it was a fed up moment. I think it was like
an outburst.
Yeah,
for sure.
And it should have never happened. And this is my quorum with social media, because it's a gift and a curse. Mm-hmm. It's there to give people the option to voice their opinions or to just say random things. But it's also there to have people get other people's attention. Mm. And I think it was his way of trying to get her attention.
Yeah.
And trying to get other people's attention.
Yeah.
And this is why I completely agree with the Reed and Kid Fury in making that app where celebrities can talk to one another. He may not be a celebrity, but maybe there needs to be a separate app with celebrity partners, people or significant others, where y'all can just have conversations and just be like, man, they did this today and I just really wasn't feeling it. Mm-hmm. You need that kind of outlet. You need somebody, because we have seen celebrities time and time again melt down on the internet. Ari Lennox has melted down and had to apologize. We have seen just so many people melt down. We've seen Chris Brown. We've seen just all these people like melt down. Summer Walker. Like all of these people who we think are chill till they get pushed to a certain point. And it's like, I can't believe you're acting like this, or you're reacting like this, or even like Chica, for example. I don't know if you know Chica.
Oh
Chica's
yeah.
like Chica has meltdowns constantly on social media, and so and you just have to let these people have their spaces. Like, I'm not gonna follow you, sis. I'm still following you. I'm still listening to your music. Like, it is what it is. You're my prayer. I'm hoping the best for you, or whatever. You People are young. They do what they want to do. You ain't gonna tell them. That just goes back again to like you're just so like, if you are willing to be persuaded into doing things that you don't normally do, what does that say? Like, where's your circle? Where are your pillars? Where are your people telling you? Because you brought up the friend, and I'm thinking like, well, what if his friends call him and was like, we just saw your girl on the internet shaking her booty cheeks. Like,
cheeks is
what's
out.
happening?
What you gonna do about
looking
that?
good.
Couldn't have been me. Couldn't have
Can you
been me.
imagine your phone blowing up and there's pictures of your baby mama behind on your screen? Bloop, 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 bloop. Insert iPhone. Bloop, 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 bloop. Text message. Like,
Yes, and you cannot compare him to like
and
Offset,
you cannot compare him to
because
someone.
Cardi B was a stripper. Like, that's very different
And
than
it's someone
thinking
who's
you're
very,
with a regular
who is known
person.
for showing their body.
Right.
You know, and so
Right.
it's like, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just like, that is what you are known for. We really have never. Keke Palmer has been out here, and she gives the fits, but let's be very
She's not
honest.
known
She's
for
never
dressing
been
like
a sex
that.
symbol.
Never.
The internet was flaming her when she came out about her having cystic acne and all of that. And yes, she did have a beret of support system where people were coming out like, you're so brave. Me being one of them, like, I'm so proud of you for being able to say you are having these issues. But like, the internet is so wishy-washy. Like, you just can't take that as face value, because one day they'll say something. Because let's be clear, y'all was just calling Usher a pervert for the way that he was on stage with Ari Lennox a couple of weeks ago. Y'all was like, what is he doing? Why is he pushing up on her that close? Why is he dancing the same way he was dancing with all these other celebrities? Y'all was just saying how he was weird for doing that with Ari Lennox. I'm just saying.
Yes, I think what you said about pillars
I'm just cutting the light on.
is crazy important. And you've been talking about pillars pretty much since I've been here. About
That's so important.
having pillars around, having the right pillars. And what is a pillar? Something that holds something up, that gives it stability and sturdiness, and so that when storms come and when things happen, it doesn't fall down.
Right.
So and pressure is put on something, and like it or not, spotlight is pressure. It might be famous pressure. Whether it's good, somebody's boosting your head up, or it's bad, somebody tearing you down. But either way you go, flip it, it's pressure.
Yes.
So you need those people in your life that are going to stand and like keep you level headed.
Yeah, they're essential. I think. Yeah, I had been doing study on pillar. I didn't realize I kept bringing it up. When you study something, you just be talking about it. But yeah, that's what it was. It's like essential people who, in times of turmoil or strife, they're there to hold you up. They're there to like make sure that you don't fall or are subjected to a rain or storm.
Yeah.
So.
And that you don't get ahead of yourself.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
Like, get big headed.
They're milestones as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, people start boosting you, and what they say, you get high on your supply. You you start feeling yourself. You like, I can do this and I can do that. And you need somebody to tell you, sis, in the long run, that probably is not going to be good for you.
Yeah.
And are you willing to take the advice? Hopefully.
Yeah.
Maybe you're not. Maybe you gotta butt your head to the white meat. Let's hope not.
Yeah.
But you need people around you that when you start getting off, because you will.
Yeah.
You will when palm trees encounter storm, they start bending. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like you will start to bend in one direction, and you cannot bend all the way to the. You got to come back up.
Somebody has to pull you back. Yeah. Something has
Yeah.
to push you back up straight or to the other way.
Yeah, so you need those roots, you need those pillars, you need those things that's going to
Yeah.
keep you when the pressure, whether it's good pressure or bad pressure, starts to come and tell you, "Hey, let's center ourselves. Hey, let's look how this may affect your future." And that's really what friendship is about.
Yeah.
Surrounding yourself with people who can help you have a better future. And like you said, like if all you meet somebody and all their friends are cheaters or all their friends are liars or all their baby, that's that is the that is what they're going to support them to do
Yeah.
and continue to do.
Because so even if they are not that, eventually,
They'll encounter.
more than likely, they will encounter it and or succumb to it.
Yes, and then when they encounter it and they
Yeah.
come to you and you're their friend,
Yeah.
what are you supporting them to do? And that's why the type of people that you surround yourself with is everything.
Yeah.
Like,
But people have different groups of friends because sometimes you
yes,
have. So I mean, sometimes I have a friend group that I may go to Vegas with that ain't you. You know what I mean? If I'm trying to like rock star lifestyle might not make it, and you will still be there though. Let me just be clear.
baby,
Just
I
be
could
honest.
flow.
You
I
would
could
be
flow.
there. You have seen me
I
out
could
of my
flow.
mind, but yeah, some people have those groups where they just like these are my people. I just know I'm gonna have a good time with them. They're here to have a good time. I ain't trying to hear nothing but having a good time with these people.
Period.
And you know what I realized? And it wasn't just me. I was listening to another show where a guy was talking about this. Honestly, I feel like that's only women that do that. Men don't necessarily have like
All these groups of friends.
right where they just like I'm gonna go out of town with this group of guys because I know they have the money to do it and they're a good time and these people don't have the money, so they don't do that because you see how a lot of girls they go out of town and they come back and they be like, that's not my friend. They be falling out on the trip and all that, or because that wasn't really your friend. You just wanted to do something. You just wanted to do something and that person
Interesting.
was available. I was just studying that. I haven't gotten too deep into it. We'll revisit that conversation, but yeah, I've noticed that that's only women
Yeah. Interesting.
that do that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, no judgment. None of it is judgment. We're just having a conversation and like looking at it from a flip side or from the perspective or the viewpoint of where were the friends? What were the friends thinking? Um did did they think, did it cross their mind like maybe I
Yeah.
might, she looked good, no doubt about it.
Yeah,
But
it's just kind of interesting to me to see the conversation be on a feministic point of view and just like, or even like moms be like, well, you just don't know. And yes, we do not. Nor not one woman who's never birthed or been pregnant know, nor does a man know. And a man will never know what it's like to give birth. So that is a totally different conversation. It's just a sense of just like, we need to understand the full scopes of all the stories, and the internet just doesn't do that.
yeah.
They never look at the full scope. They tend to side with the people that they love.
Yeah.
And Keke Palmer was the name and the person that they knew and they loved. So we're going to side with Keke Palmer absolutely off the bat. It's like, oh, she want to do this. And then she's just like, yeah, this is what I'm going to do. So I'm standing 10 toes down in it. So it's going to be that. And again, it should have never gone to the internet. It should have never made its way into our ears or our eyes. Like, it should have been an in-house conversation. That was, but I am just very hopeful. I'm gonna say this, and this is a very controversial opinion. I hope they work it out, because if a week ago this was someone who was the closest person to you. They make you the happiest. You have a baby with them. You just seem like you are enjoying yourself so much. I will hope that one, and I'm not even going to call this small. It's not small. But I will hope that one instance doesn't mess that up for you.
Mm-hmm.
I will hope that pride could be put aside for both people, and a resolution could come to play. Because people make mistakes.
They really do. And they're
all
kind
the
of young.
time.
It's their
And
first
they're
child.
young. It's their first child.
Yeah.
They're neither one of them are 30 yet.
Not even.
So it's just like you're still learning.
You're
And
still
the stress
learning.
of having a new baby, I can only imagine. Makes people think and act a little differently than they normally would.
I mean, that brings up another question that I'm sure you'll explore on another episode. But like, what do you do when your friend wilds out? Not to say Kiki wild out, but I'm saying like when your friend is wilding and you're like, you finna wreck your future. In your mind, you're like,
yeah.
What the freak are you doing? Like, you have goals. Like, you could wreck this.
Yeah.
What do you do? Do you say something? Do you?
I've been there. I have been in a situation where I'm like, yo. I have been in a situation where somebody was about to ruin their relationship. And I've been in a situation where I was like, you trying to go somewhere in your career and this is not the best look. And you may want to pull it back.
It's not giving.
Because that's not. And I'm going to just be honest. In one situation was a little less abrasive, but in the other, that person wasn't trying to hear it. And I was a hater. Like,
wow.
You're just like,
hating on me.
You're hating on me. Now, did that person come back later and be like, I was not a hater? Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. But I would rather you hate me for telling the truth now.
Woo, child.
Than to hate me for not stopping you later.
Yeah. I can't stop nobody, no grown person.
Or not warning you.
But tell you. I'm going to tell you.
I'm going to put it out there.
I'm going to
say, this ain't it.
I don't believe in trying to control grown people.
I'm not going to control nobody. I don't even believe in controlling kids to a certain extent. Yeah. Kids going to be kids.
Yeah. I'm going to say what I'm going to say.
And that's why I said what I said.
And that's it. Now, after that, if I really love you and it's really bad, I might say it one more time. But after that, listen, let the chips fall where they may. This your life. You gotta live it. This your life and you gotta live it. So, but the truth of the matter is, sometimes we need somebody to be like,
It has to be someone, though, in your camp that's willing to be like,
tell you the truth. And if nobody can tell you the truth, you need to sit down with yourself and ask why.
Yeah. It's called Radical Candor. And I think I just told you about this book. Mm-hmm. And I would suggest a lot of people read it, especially if you want to go to places in leadership. Radical Candor is an awesome read. It teaches you how to confront awkward situations in truth because of love. Because of care.
Because I love you.
Care. I'm going to pinpoint something that's awkward for me to bring up because I know it's a negative for you. Yeah. Yeah. Not necessarily saying you're negative. Yeah. But it's just considered a negative. Yeah. So I have to bring it up because I care about you and I don't want it to like ruin whatever's happening or whatever's going. Mm-hmm. It's like the person, and I think I gave this example to you. This is a very light example of it. But a light example of it, a lot of people, if you walk up to them and you have a booger in your nose, they don't want to tell you because it's awkward for them. Mm-hmm. You're just talking, especially if you're like very confident, mm-hmm. you're very like giddy or chatty. You're just talking. They don't want to be like, I don't want to stop their spunk. But if you're about to go on a stage,
you better tell me.
I'm not gonna let you walk up there with that booger in your nose.
Period. And you're not my friend if you let me walk up there with my booger.
And that doesn't mean I have to be like, you got a booger in your nose.
Right, and embarrass you.
I can say, hey,
come here real quick.
Can you come over here for a second?
Not Cecilia.
Yeah, I love it. You have like, just gotta book her right there. And even if a lot of people are thinking, man, they've been walking around with that booger in their nose all day and ain't nobody said nothing. Why do I have to be the person?
Don't nobody care
Why
about
do
you?
I have to be the person to say it? You just been walking around confidently. No.
Or lipstick on your teeth.
Get over here.
Or your breath is hot.
Hey,
Please tell me if my breath is hot. Give me a mint.
Okay, you got a booger in your nose. Your breath is hot. Like, you about to go
Give me a mint, baby.
And just get out of your nose. I'd be like, oh, huh. A lot of people, a lot of times will be like, oh my God, I didn't know. Thank you so much for telling me. That's how their response will be. More so, people in their minds think, what do you mean? But that's not how people react.
No. They're grateful that you told them the truth.
They're grateful that you told them the truth.
And you saved them from being embarrassed.
That's why I said,
powerful.
When that situation happened, where that person was like, they didn't call me a hater, but essentially they were like, you're a hater. And I backed off and I let them do. And then a couple of days later they came and they told me like, yes, you were right, blah, blah, blah. I was like, I just want you to know when I come to you again, this is how I look. Like, I'm not, if this ever happens again. But you also have to acknowledge those situations and be like, if you're going to react like that, people ain't going to want to tell you.
No. Can your friends tell you when you're wrong?
Can your friends tell you when you're wrong? How do you react when people tell? How do you react when anybody tells you you're wrong? Or do you have authoritative issues?
Do you lash out? Do you try to flip the script on them? Do you try to insult them? You know, it's a lot of ways this cookie could crumble.
Yeah.
Very, very much so. But yeah, if your friends can't tell you,
who can really tell you?
Tell you?
It has to be the people closest to you to be able to say like, yo, but that comes with trust and vulnerability. If I trust you, and it's funny because I think about like when people make choices in media and I'm like, who did you ask about that? Fashion choices.
Who are you listening to right now?
Business choices. I'm just like, who did you ask?
Who's in your circle right now?
Did your actual friend tell you that? Or I think I would say I'm trying to think of good examples that I've seen of people who like made good choices based off the people who have been around them. I don't know celebrities.
You were talking about how Missy Elliott has had the same like style person.
Missy Elliott
I was like, man, she's
yep.
so great. Her style is always so cool.
Yep. Missy Elliott has had a lot of the same team members since she started. She was talking about that, and I thought that was so cool because I'm like, if you actually look at it, even though her style has evolved, it hasn't changed. We think about evolution and that automatically for us means change, but that doesn't mean change a lot. It doesn't mean it has to not be in the same family. And so
it's still very much cutting edge and fresh.
It's still fresh and new. I thought that was really cool. I would also say, like, I think in a sense of business, Big Frida has kept some of the same friends and or business partners in their camp. And if you think about her evolution or her growth, it's not linear per se. It's just going up, but it's not outside of the family of what she's already known for. So I think like being able to acknowledge people who you know you, and then also coupling it with people who know where you're trying to go, makes a difference. You don't necessarily have to, and it's two-way street, because we talked about this before, where sometimes you'll tell people like, well, I'm just trying to get under the wing or talk to people who are going where I'm going, and it's no disrespect to you, and people will be offended by that. If you have someone who's like, yeah, get the word of knowledge from this person, and then, you know, we can just continue to move you forward, who's still going to support, I think that aids in having a healthy relationship. Because even as much of a praise as you give me, I know that you get knowledge from several people, and you've gotten help from several people, and I'm thankful that you've been able to have people in your life to teach you things
You
that I
need a
would never
village.
be able to teach you.
Yeah, you need a village.
Yeah.
You need a village. That's why it's so dumb to be like competitive and insecure, because
Or say you don't need nobody.
you need a village. You need so much help too. If your vision doesn't need help, you don't have a vision. Like you ain't got no vision. You
And
got
that, ladies and gentlemen, is Friendship University.
you're gonna need some help. So like everybody plays a role, and I'm gonna need you, I'm gonna need such and such, and everybody's important. So those pillars and those standards and having people in your life that can pour into you and try to safeguard you, honestly, but not the balance between safeguarding you but not caging you or
or
locking you in,
or exuding their own
yeah,
fears or
yeah,
tendencies
projecting
onto you.
on you, but like are more like guardrails. They're gonna keep you from going off the side of the road for protection. But
think
if you
there's
want to look
yeah.
over there, you can't. You know what I'm saying?
There's a certain
So,
level of independence
yes,
that should come in friendship.
yes,
Like
that
you're
we
independently
respect.
you.
Yeah. I respect that you as your own. I think that's why it's so cool to be like like me and Kristen are artists. We respect each other's artistry. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not going to I respect you as an artist to know that you're going to see things from your lens of artistry, and I'm going to see things from my lens of artistry. That doesn't make one better than the other. We're just seeing it from different perspectives. And I respect what you do.
Same.
So I'm not gonna try to tell you how to. And if I do try, I'm like, oh, let me move out your way, And I'm not gonna, I might say, hey, this is what I want, but I'm gonna leave it up to you to like help bring that to pass. So it's just standards, respecting, being a pillar, communicating, safeguarding. That's big. We've talked about a lot.
Yeah.
Hey now. Pop culture?
It definitely made its way in. Yeah, so we have your standards of friendship. We've talked about it. If there was someone, I'm going to ask you two final questions,
Okay.
and then we can wrap it up. One is, if there was someone out there questioning a friendship based off of some of the things that we've talked about, what would be your advice to them?
I need a little bit more.
If someone were to say, like, I'm thinking about the trust and the honesty and the vulnerability, and let's say, like, maybe I want to trust, but I don't know how to trust. Or trust was broken.
Oh, trust was broken. Okay.
And everything else is kind of falling in alignment, but they told someone, because this happens often in friendship, I've seen. People tell other people things that they told someone in confidence. What would be your advice if they wanted to, like, get back on track, or maybe they don't want to get back on track?
I say if they're a good friend, have the conversation. You might win your friend back. Say, hey, I think things happen in friendship.
Should it be the person whose trust was broken or the person who broke the trust?
The person who got the problem.
Okay.
Because the other person might not know.
Yep,
They might be
that's
living
true.
their life and got a whole nother situation going on. We don't know. So the person who's got the issue should go to the other person and say, hey, this hurt me. I love you. I appreciate you. I want you in my life. But a standard that I have for my friendships is I got to be able to trust you. Like, I can't have my stuff on the street. I can't hear my stuff in the street.
Yeah.
And that hurt me. And I can't continue to be vulnerable and share things with you if they're going to end up in the street. So, what are your thoughts on that? And if they are apologetic and they say, you know what, I am so, so sorry I hurt you. And you know what, that is a understandable request and standard. And I actually want that for myself too.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that again. Okay, go y'all merry way.
Yeah.
But if the person is unwilling to see their part, they're going to repeat it. They're going to do it again. And you might give them a little time, but I would start digressing. I would start giving them a lot less
Yeah.
than you give them, because they're not worthy of that level of trust anymore. And you can't change people, but you can change you, and you can't change your behavior. I don't have to tell you everything. I don't have to tell you what I used to tell you. I can tell you a lot less. And, see how that works. And if it's just still the little, you told them, yo, you had blue socks on sale. But don't tell nobody you was finna come out with some blue socks. And then everybody coming and tell you, oh, I heard you come out with blue socks. You got to cut that person off.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to just let it go, because they don't care.
Yeah.
So.
And the last question, we always end with a final note. So, what's your final note on, or your final piece of advice for standards in friendship?
I think everything starts with you. You have to have a standard for yourself. You have to treat people. I know it's like old school Bible, old school mommy, daddy. Treat people how you want to be treated. But you do. You cannot ask for things you are not willing to do or give.
Absolutely not.
And it starts with you keeping promises and honoring yourself. And people are going to treat you based on how you treat yourself.
Yes. That is facts. That is absolute facts. That really shook me. I'm so sorry. I knew that, but that really, I'm so glad you said that on air.
If your car always dirty,
and then I get in with a bag of fries, and you tell me not to eat them fries,
I'm gonna look at
Sir,
you like,
madam,
your car always you trying to talk about I dropped a fry in your car and your car always dirty.
There's an open bottle of milkshake back there. You ain't clean it. It smell like spoiled milk back there. You tell me not to eat a bag of fries? Now, yes, boundaries, but come on, sway.
But if you keep your car clean, they're gonna get in and say, "Hey, can I eat in your car? Is that okay?
Ask.
Is that? I know you keep your car really clean. Is that okay?"
Let me tell
and
you
if
something.
they do eat in your car, they're gonna make sure they clean it up based on how you handle yourself. So that's what I'm just saying. Like, all of it starts with you, and I can't expect things from other people that I'm not willing to do for myself. I can't expect support if I'm not giving support. I can't expect people to come to my events and show up for me, and I don't show up for them. And I'm so tired today and I'm not going and I don't feel like going, but you expect everybody to show up for you. No, it don't work like that. So.
Very good. Thank you for your wisdom and your time and your knowledge. Yes. You all know where you can catch us at. I'll just end on that. Thank you so much. This is the last episode in this series, I guess, with Tarrah Coble.
Yes. Yay! It was such a pleasure, such an honor. I hope y'all got something.
I'm sure in the future she will be back, but I'm so grateful that she took the time out with me to do this while I was here visiting in her current state. This is not where she's from. I will not put that on her, but
I'm from Chicago.
She is from. She don't like when I say
Y'all
Chirac.
love to say, oh, no, don't call it Chirac. We're trying to. First of all,
Chi-Town.
we
She's
wasn't.
from Chi-Town.
Okay, I'm going to do my Chi-Town. I'm going to do my Chi-Town accent. We wasn't even on the most dangerous cities list that just came out from Forbes. We wasn't on there.
Do you think with you now and then? Do you think about me now and then? 'Cause I'm coming home again. Be home again.
Hey.
Yeah, I don't want to get fined. You can only do so many seconds of a song. But if you know, you know. So, yes, I won't put that on you. But you are here now, and you've been such a gracious host. And I'm so thankful that you've taken the time out and shared your knowledge and your insight and your thought to our listeners.
Yeah.
You know where to find us. We are the Friendship University. You can find us on all social media. We are at Funny Podcast. That's FUNIPODCST at Funny Podcast on Twitter, on TikTok, on Instagram. You can also email us friendshipuniversitypodcast@gmail.com. Any topics, anything you want to hear, friendship shout outs. We're looking for it. We're past graduation season, but we may be doing it again next semester. So look out for that. Anything you want to email us to that. We'll have all of Tarrah's handles in the description box below because you know she is a woman of her business, a business woman. We'll have she is at Tarrah Lights on Instagram. That is TARRAH
Lights with
Lights.
an S. With an S.
LIGHTS on
Yes.
Instagram. She
And
also
same on TikTok.
Same on TikTok. She also has several beauty channels. GGH Beauty Global. She
Go
has
Girl Hacks.
Go Girl Hacks.
Which is more like reviews and fun things. And I can't wait to get back to that. I've been doing some personal things that have I couldn't show up on there as much as I wanted to, but it's coming back in full effect, so I'm excited about that.
Yes, so we'll have all of those handles in the description box below. We thank you again for tuning in to another week, another Friendship Friday. This is the Friendship University, and we're out. Peace.
Out.